Sponsors. WSTU does not endorse products that may be mentioned. Any reproduction or retransmission of this broadcast is strictly prohibited without written consent of WSTU. It's time now for the Crown Car Care Show. Call in with questions and comments, 220-9788, 220-WSTU. Now, here's your host.
This is the last show for 2021, Frank.
It is indeed.
And it could be the best. They always say save the best for last.
Well, why not? Sure.
Well,
I vote yes.
We're going to give away a kit.
A kit.
Let's talk about emergency kits.
All right.
What do you think? We need an emergency kit for your car. Should you have one? Do you think you should have one?
I think it's a good idea.
I do too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think 20 years ago, probably no one even thought about it except jumper cables, right? I can always remember in the back of my parents' cars, there was always a set of jumper cables. That was really about it, though.
Right.
A couple towels, a squeegee. I lived up north, so it always had an ice scraper. It was a weird-looking thing. It was plastic, and it had like these raised sections every quarter inch. And you remember the raised?
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about.
The blue plastic one? Yeah,
Used to get them free at the full-serve gas stations. They'd hand them out.
Yeah.
They would. And,
along with the calendar, right?
Oh, of course.
Yep.
We still get calendars from some of the parts stores.
Oh, sure.
Yep. But this kit, I've got one here. And,
it is jam-packed.
Made by Bridgestone.
Okay.
It says here 50 pieces. I don't count 50 in here. I think they're counting all the little pieces.
I think every component. Yes.
They did. That was they said it, but we're going to go through each item. I'd like to go through each item and discuss the importance of it.
Sure.
And then if anyone feels like calling the radio station, call me. The first caller gets this kit. You come by one of my stores, and we'll give it to you.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. It's probably worth $80, $100. It's nice.
It is
brand new.
We had to break the seal to open it up.
We did.
Yes.
We had to use Frank's pocket knife to get into it.
Yeah, we did.
I mean, just to give you it has Band-Aids, tire gauge, emergency blanket, collapsible funnel, all kinds of stuff. So let's go through it.
Yeah, let's go through it.
So the first thing I saw was this crazy looking, looked like something you'd get lemon juice out of.
Oh, sure. Squeezer. Yeah.
But it's actually a funnel.
Look at that. All right. So
Instant
for
funnel.
our YouTube audience, you can actually see
it.
Yes.
It's blue silicone. And it's in case you run out of gas, you got a funnel. Now, there's not a gas tank in here, a gas can.
No. But
a funnel, you need a funnel.
You do, because it's difficult
to get the nozzle, and this will just prevent spillage on your paint, or if you have any decals or a wrap on your car, or just backsplashing on you. It's just a good idea. It's a nice funnel.
Right.
Made out of silicone,
and you can use it for more than just gasoline, although it's fuel resistant.
You could do coolant if you add a quart of oil.
Right.
Think about that. If you're down a quart of oil, you could use this. And just it wipes off because it's silicone.
Right.
Super high quality. Just a nice piece.
Yes.
That's item number one.
Okay. Item
number two is a roll of duct tape.
Duct tape. They even use duct tape on the International Space Station.
I bet. They probably do. They do. Well, I'll tell you what, it's in some technicians or mechanics, it's their number one tool. No, but not at Crown Car Care, of course.
Number one tool.
You can just about fix anything with duct tape.
Shade tree mechanics, yes.
Duct tape. It's not a full roll, but it's plenty to. Let's say you had a piece of your lower valance on your front of your car, or a piece of trim was coming off.
Right.
Trim's not cheap, and if it started to pop off, possibly save it, put some duct tape on there, and come see us at Crown Car Care, and we can get it reattached for you.
Right.
Brand new roll, duct tape. Good thing to have. So we got a funnel and duct tape.
I like it. So far, so good.
Next thing, this is a decent quality jumper cables.
Yes.
They're not cheapies.
Good.
They're not the best, but they're not the cheapest. They're right in the middle, but high quality.
Yes.
You can just tell by looking at them. The thicker the wire, the better the jumper cable.
Right, because they're going to carry the current more.
Carry more current.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the cheapy ones you buy at like a dollar store, they're just,
yeah.
I mean, they can be a actual safety hazard.
I think so.
They can melt, short out.
Yeah.
But these are decent.
If you're going to invest, if you're not going to be a caller and you're not going to use this one exactly.
Because your first caller gets this whole kit. We're going to give it away.
But if you're going to buy one, buy a good one.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. It's a decent kit.
Yeah. Nice.
Jumper cables. Next item on the
look
list.
at this. This plugs into your cigarette lighter,
and
right?
it's got, and you can fill up your tires. Decent quality. Again, has a gauge built into it. This is an electric air inflator. What a great gift.
Yeah, because sometimes you need to put on your spare, but guess what? Your spare is flat.
Yeah, but not at Crown Car Care, because when we check the spares when you come in for an oil change. See, we do that. Check the little things. And that's what separates the things.
Yeah.
People.
Yeah.
Quality of service. The little things is what matters. And here's a little tire pump. It plugs into accessory outlet. I'm not going to use the other word.
Cigarette lighter.
Because they don't.
Yeah.
Cars don't even have them anymore.
Just the accessory outlet.
It looks the same, but it's actually a little bit different, and runs off 12 volts. And this is a pretty long cord, so you can get to all your tires. So decent, nice,
very
so
good.
You got that
with the tire gauge attached.
Yeah, and of course, to do all this handiwork, in case you have a situation, a sealed pair of really nice knit or looks like a cloth glove with impregnated with little silicone dots on it.
Silicone or neoprene?
Neoprene, probably neoprene. Yeah. Painter's gloves. It almost looks like. Or wallpaper gloves. You would know about that, right, Frank?
Yeah.
You've laid a few double rolls in your life, haven't you?
A few rolls I've hung, yes, indeed. Yes.
My dad and I have done a lot of wallpaper. But these are nice gloves, and they're sealed, so and they're reusable,
Sure. Toss them in the laundry if they get soiled.
Yeah. I hope whoever gets this, or if you make your own kit, hopefully you never have to use it, but it's always good to be prepared.
Yeah. Well, the nice thing is it's handy. It could slip
and it
right
zips
underneath.
Up and everything, yeah.
Right. It could slip right underneath your passenger seat or driver's seat.
Okay, so you got a set of gloves.
Right.
Let's get to the next item here.
I love this. This
is it's even weighted so it doesn't blow away.
Right. So it's
an emergency triangle that opens up and
look. And it's made out of that reflective
and this
coating.
is high quality.
Yes.
This is decent quality here. This is not junk.
Right.
Isn't that nice?
Wow, let me see the oh my goodness, that's got some serious weight to it.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, if you've got to do work on your car, and the way people are using their cell phones and everything, and they don't see, you need to make yourself noticed if you're on the side of the road. Well, it's a matter of life and death.
Right.
I say be prepared to avert all situations, even after you've had a bad situation. Right. You don't want a second situation to incur because you were careless.
I watched the guy just the other day. I was driving south of 95, and there was a driver pulls over to the side of the road, and obviously is waiting for somebody to come to retrieve him, to help him with his automotive issue.
Yep.
But rather than standing next to the car, he stood on the other side of the guardrail. I recommend that. That's a good idea.
Oh, that's a good tip, Frank.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, because you get panic. I mean, I even panic. Anybody will panic if you have a situation. And take the precautions.
Yeah, stand on the other side of the guardrail. Get out of the way.
And don't be embarrassed. A lot of people, when something happens, they're apprehensive to do the right thing because they feel like they're going to be spotted or noticed. I get that way sometimes. You know what I'm talking about?
Sure.
Your car stalls. Don't just get out of the car and stand there like a lump on a log.
Your hand on your hips.
Get your hood up too.
Right.
Isn't that important, Frank? Get the hood up.
Yes.
Don't be embarrassed.
Right. Turn on your emergency flashers.
I know it's embarrassing, but get your flashers on and get your hood up. The last thing we need is a secondary situation.
Right.
I mean, someone could break your legs, for heaven's sakes. You could get killed.
Right.
All because your car stalled out.
Now, you remember the older model cars used to have on the steering column the button for the emergency flasher?
Yeah. You would push it and then you'd pull it out to release it.
Right. And it turned out it was so cumbersome. People didn't know how to use it, or
it is confusing because, like I say, you push it in and there's a collar that floats on the outside.
Right. So now on the dashboard, there's just a little triangle, orange triangle image. You just push the button and your flashers come on.
I bet if you were to stop 20 people,
15
of them wouldn't know where that button is even on their dash. I sometimes get confused.
I suspect you're right.
I know I'm right.
Yeah.
Find your emergency flashers and know where it is.
Yes.
Important.
Yep.
I don't know what else to say, but
know where your fuse panel is too.
Heaven's sakes. Yeah. Yes. And know that if you open the driver's door, there's a sticker required by federal law that will have the tire inflation pressure for both front and rear.
Right.
And most people don't know that there's quite a few cars that have more air in the back than they do the front.
Mm-hmm.
Less air, Frank, in in the front than the back. So they load, weight, but a lot of times you'll have, say, 36 PSI in the back and it'll be 32 PSI in the front.
Interesting.
A lot of that is for adhesion too. Your front wheels are the wheels that do the turning, and you need to have stickiness and most contact patch.
Right.
So an overly inflated tire narrows the contact patch. So that's one of the safety issues of overinflating your tires and not using a proper tire gauge. If you overinflate it, your stopping distance can drop. Your ability to go around a corner safely will decrease.
Right.
All because of an overinflated tire.
Wow.
Yeah. So
sure.
Don't overinflate the tires.
That means the edges of your tires are not touching the
Correct.
road.
If you think of a bicycle tire, how it goes to a crown almost, or a point. If you overinflate it, you're just going to be running the very center. And that can happen too on a tire. Not as bad, but it does happen.
Absolutely.
So, let's see what else we got in this bag of goodies here. Now, here's a whole nother pouch.
Wait, there's more.
Wait, listen.
Oh, nice.
You hear the zipper?
Yes.
And this is a nice quality bag.
It's nylon bag with a net mesh in the front.
Yeah, and we got some, looks like these kitchen things my mom used to have in the kitchen we'd clean dishes with.
Right. The
handy wipes, I think they call them.
Right.
But they're reusable. And
they can just good for cleaning.
Wiping up things if you spill oil or spill gasoline.
Right.
There's 3 of those.
Right.
See what else
or antifreeze, especially
antifreeze.
Yeah, you want to clean that.
And you
up.
don't want any animals to lick or drink antifreeze.
Right.
It can cause liver damage as well as it's not good for you to get on your skin.
No.
Now here's a nice little first aid kit. Let's see what's in here. It's in a plastic bag. It looks like there's Band-Aids, some sterile gauze. Let's see what else. Well, here it is. Large adhesive strips, small gauze pads, and a roll of adhesive tape. 27 pieces total.
Wow.
First aid kit. Oh, wait.
Nice. Okay. Nice Ziploc
I like
bag.
the sound effects.
Yeah.
In the early days of radio, they used to have all kinds of.
Oh, sure.
Wasn't there a board that they would have that sound like horses?
They actually had like cups that they would put on a wooden plank.
I would like to duplicate that
sound.
Maybe on an upcoming show.
That would be fun.
Coconut shells. I wonder if they would work.
Yes, coconut shells would be perfect.
Like that.
Small ones.
Yeah, small. Well, click, 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 click,
yeah.
click.
You use like a wooden plank, like a 1x12.
Okay, so I'll get a plank.
Yeah.
And we can start doing sound effects.
Yeah, well, I love
Can we do that?
Sure.
Yeah, we'll just make it a tradition.
They used to be a real fun thing for me when I was a kid in school.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I would make sound effects because I took radio in college.
Well, can you think of some other sound effects that we could probably maybe create at a fairly ease and cost perspective that we could duplicate?
Yeah, let me ponder that, and I'll do that.
Yeah, yes. We have a little situation.
We'll have maybe 2 or 3 every week. We can.
Yeah, we'll do the same. It'll be part of our
shtick. Yes.
Okay, the next item in our this is like the separate bag that's inside the container. This is an emergency survival blanket, which you've heard of these space
blankets.
But what it does is it reflects heat. I believe it's made out of mylar.
Correct.
They use mylar for making high altitude balloons.
Right.
They go way up in the atmosphere.
They use it for a lot of things.
A lot of people say they use it for satellite technology. Instead of satellites orbiting, they'll put them up in balloons. But we'll save that for another show.
That's another story, yes. But the Mylars actually became a wallpaper item back in the 70s.
Tell me. Tell me about it.
Okay. So they produced Mylar for the foil wrapping that they used on the lunar lander.
Yep.
And they had a bunch of this stuff, and they said, well, we need to figure a way to use some of this up. And so they introduced it to the wallpaper industry, and they came up with the substrate that they can attach it to. And that's how Mylar wallpaper was used.
Very interesting.
It's
a real interesting.
Yeah.
It doesn't really wrinkle. It like unfolds.
Right.
It almost has like memory. It gets smooth again.
It does.
And it folds up nicely.
We had to use special clay-based adhesives with a lot of adhesive tack because traditional wallpaper glue will not.
It's super shiny, so it probably couldn't get it. There's no crevices for the glue to adhere to, really.
Well, that's where the substrate comes in. So they would actually, they found a substrate that they could bond it to, and they used cotton.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh. But this is good. We're down here in Florida, but. And this kit's made for, anywhere in the United States.
Right.
But if you were in cold weather and your car was to break down, let's just say you're an elderly person, you're a person sensitive to weather, and it gets cold out at night,
right?
And you're stranded on Alligator Alley going over to Naples.
It happens.
There's not a soul in sight.
Yeah.
And I don't know if cell phones work on Alligator Alley, but there's a lot of areas in the United States where your cell phone doesn't work. You know that, Frank.
Yeah.
There is quite a few up in the mountains and things. You don't have cell phone.
My daughter lives in West Virginia.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I know parts of North Carolina are that way on the Blue Ridge Parkway, where we've been as a family, a couple of vacations we've taken, and you just don't have cell.
Yep.
And if you do, it drains your battery so fast because it's has to use high strength. I don't know if people knew that, but your cell phone, a lot of your battery usage is
trying to ping to find
a tower.
Yes.
And if it's great distance, you're up to full juice. Yeah. Okay. So we have the blanket that was in the kit.
Yes.
Okay. Next item. Oh, this looks like something you'd use for like
knife.
Wallpaper or something.
Yeah,
it's
snap knife.
A snap knife. And there's multiple blades. So it's basically like a.
So if you need to say somebody's in a seat restraint and you have to cut it off.
Or cutting duct tape or cutting off a piece of an emergency repair on a hose and you were going to wrap it with duct tape. I mean, there's just all kinds of situations that could occur with it.
Okay.
MacGyver.
Yes.
Next item, zip ties. Look at that.
Zip ties.
For this is really a good kit.
Yeah.
Real zip ties.
Yes.
Think about that.
And
zip
they're
ties.
about 8 inches long.
Yeah,
so
they're full size. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 of the 50 items.
Okay. Yes.
Batteries for this LED flashlight, which is real nice. Nice LED flashlight.
Nice LED.
And the batteries aren't in it, so it's not going to,
Right.
Look, Duracell. So this is all name brand stuff.
Right.
We're not kidding around here, people.
That's right.
Let's see. We're getting down to the end. Oh, look, a screwdriver that has both Phillips. So it's nice
or
quality.
slot.
A slot, and it goes right in. It has to fit into a slot. There you go. Nice.
Nice little screwdriver. Yeah.
And last but not least,
the piece de resistance
is a tire gauge. It's a nice quality tire gauge too. Metal,
okay.
Good tire gauge.
Nice.
And I don't know if you knew, if you look at a tire gauge, your standard looking tire gauge, on the back side of where you push it on the little nipple thing that sticks out, that's for letting the air out.
Correct.
A lot of people don't know that. Yeah. And if you really want to get fancy, you could put it in your coat pocket.
Right.
Your pocket protector if you're an engineer.
Yes.
Pocket protector. They used to give those all my past jobs I've had working at, like, say, gas station, full service. The service managers always had a pocket protector, like from Napa or one of them.
Right.
They used to give those away, and he used to keep his pocket screwdriver and his tire gauge in his pocket protector.
Yes.
Gives me an idea. I come in all dolled up with my pocket protector and my white shirt and my ASE certifications. I'll look like a throwback to the 70s.
Right.
Like Todd T. Harris here, ready to serve you. You like the Ethel or the regular? Fill it up with Ethel, the good stuff.
That's right.
You know why it was called Ethel, don't you?
No.
Tetraethyl lead is what makes high octane fuel. So ethyl would be the tetraethyl lead. So give me the ethyl. That's the premium.
It was the shorthand.
That what they used, tetraethyl lead, which was the additive that was banned.
Right.
Went unleaded.
Right.
But that was the additive that was put in a higher quantity amount per gallon, or
right,
whatever the percentage was, into the gasoline to raise the octane. Tetraethyl lead.
Right.
Ethyl. Fill it up with ethyl.
And octane is what gives you your hot spark, right?
Well, it higher compression motors need fuel that has a less resistance to self-ignite. So if you have a high compression, more power, because you're squeezing it more like a diesel, and the lead gives the fuel the resistance to self-ignite before it's supposed to. So when you hear pinging or spark knock, there's two flames of propagation. It's called flames of propagation, and they hit each other like a hammer, one on one side of the piston and one on the other, and they hit each other, and there's that noise.
Bing. Yeah.
And that eats a hole in the piston.
That's not good.
Oh no, it's not good at all. So this is our kit that we're going to give away.
Okay.
It could be a lazy Wednesday. It's holidays and everything.
Sure.
I know figured the keyboard would be running off the hook.
Well, I know it.
Well, you never know. It's just, you can't predict anything anymore in this world.
You can't.
But one more thing I wanted to touch on, Frank, on the emergency kit.
Okay.
And it probably is a tough topic to talk about, I'll be honest with you. We live in a world that's full of uncertainty, right?
Yes.
We don't know what's going to come our way.
We
don't know if you're at a traffic light or you're at the grocery store, something could happen.
Right.
Where you could be not maybe the target, but you could be caught in the
crossfire
of something bad happening.
Right.
How do you protect yourself? What do? I recommend that anybody that owns a car and drives locally, distance, have some type of stick. Maybe my mom said a hammer.
Yeah.
Good idea. Hammer, some kind of baseball bat, a small baton, something that you can keep underneath the driver's seat. And only you know it's there.
Right.
Just in case something. If you never have to use it, God blessed you.
Right.
But that one time, just that one time that you might need it, she's always there waiting for you.
Yeah.
And it's just a good idea to have. Protection.
Yeah. You know that long flashlight that
Maglite
that the police use?
Yes.
The large
That's
one?
Another good idea.
I have one of those.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, and that's what I keep under my seat.
And it's dual purpose. It's not only a flashlight, but
it can
self-defense.
Correct.
You just never know what's going to happen.
Right.
And it doesn't even have to be a person. Imagine if you get out of a car and a dog comes after you, for heaven's sakes.
Right.
A pit bull of some sort, or one of these vicious rabid dogs, or even a raccoon or something.
Mm-hmm.
At least you have a fighting chance.
Right.
I'm not going to say that you're going to.
Yeah.
Who knows? But I do know this. You have a better chance of winning or protecting yourself if you have something that you can use in your hand that will help you veer off danger. Let's take a break.
Okay. And that concludes our podcast as well.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
That was a doozy.
Yeah. And we'll be right back. So stick with us. Give us a call here at the studio line, 220-9788. Operators are standing by and they look a lot like me.
Welcome back, everybody, to the second half. Hope everybody enjoyed that little talk about the safety survival kit. And
I know I did.
I thought it was actually fun to open it up.
Mm-hmm.
We should do more unboxings, Frank.
Yeah.
And sound effects. I'm really got my head thinking on these sound effects. We could get Carson. Didn't they have one that you cranked it?
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah.
We'll have to look that up. See if you can come up with some stuff.
Yeah, the noisemakers like they use for New Year's.
Yeah. I want the horse thing. Click, click, click.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't they use that with Tonto and
the Lone Ranger?
The Lone Ranger.
They actually taped those shows at the Maccabees building, WABC, WXYZ in Detroit.
Oh,
and
really?
That's where where that was broadcast live.
And speaking of old things like that, tell me, wasn't there a movie filmed down there at the Jonathan Dickinson Park? It was the Queen, something Jungle Queen,
the African Queen,
right?
With
Humphrey Bogart and Katharine Hepburn, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, on my boat, the African Queen. There's the stain, skinny but nice.
And do you know where she was staying? A Southern Methodist outpost. It was what is that called when they go into another country and they have a mission?
Oh yes,
it was a Southern Methodist. Southern Methodist. I do remember that.
Cool.
And the boat was always breaking. One he always wrapping it with. He needed that kit that we got.
He did. He desperately needed at least the duct tape.
And the boat was actually smaller than you think it was.
Oh yeah.
But it had a different kind of engine. It wasn't a diesel. It was one of those, which is the they used them in the farming back in the early agricultural days. It wasn't a 2-stroke. It wasn't a 4-stroke. It was like a hot oil engine where we'll have to have a show on that. I'll get some more information. It's a different type of motor, and I'll talk about it.
Okay.
It's just a totally different concept than like what we consider the internal combustion motor. It was in the infancy. It was well before, Stanley steamers and all that stuff. It was in the late 1800s, I believe they used them. Wow. They would use those and they had big flywheels. I don't want to give it all away, but the big flywheels would have the inertia once the big flywheel got going, because the motor would go like chitty, chitty, bang, bang, very similar.
Right.
Okay. But it was a different kind of motor, and I'll talk about it.
Okay.
Very interesting stuff. So
the technology on motors is changing.
Yes. And if I can think of it, I have a little thing from Germany that I bought. It's actually a steam engine that has a big flywheel, and I'll bring it in and maybe we can demonstrate it here.
Okay.
So give me some. How do you pronounce his name, that crazy guy? What's
Carlos Ghosn.
Ghosn.
Which is what you had corrected me, because I would always say Goshen.
Ghosn.
But now it seems like everybody
has
in the news
press
media
and have caught on to it. And any update on him? I heard he's written, I don't know. What is he?
Yes,
done?
He has written a book called Leaving Lebanon. And actually, and it really talks about his amazing Great Escape, which we spent some time about. But he wrote a book about it.
And there's a travesty. One of John, who's our co-host and has a show with me on different days, different weeks.
Right.
From European Kitchen Math, he has a neighbor that when he lived up in Nashville area,
right,
that was a lawyer that was trying to get him out, and he ended up being jailed.
Greg Kelly, I think.
Greg Kelly. Hey, he's in jail still over there.
Well, he's in home arrest, so he was in jail, and the update is that
he's back home. He's there, but on home arrest.
Correct.
Which is what Ghosn was.
Right.
The only reason he got to escape was because he was on home arrest. He didn't have to report in every 24 hours.
Right.
So a big famous rock band came in, and that was the cover.
Yeah.
And they brought him out in a box.
Yes. Isn't that amazing?
I almost would like to make a box like that of the same dimensions and bring it in here. You'd be shocked at how small that was.
Yeah.
Tiny, tiny. He wasn't a big guy, but still, it's almost like, it reminds me, I don't know what James Bond movie it was where he was in that torpedo or something where he had a rebreather.
Remember the TV show Mission Impossible?
Yes, I do.
It was kind of a takeoff, I think, of some of that stuff.
And didn't he have a phone in his shoe?
That was Get Smart. That was Don Adams.
And he had a car that was a Sunbeam Tiger.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
That little red car?
Yeah, Sunbeam Tiger, and had a Ford, I think it was a 260 V8 motor in it.
Wow.
You could buy that car. Sunbeam Tiger. We should do a show on that stuff, on spy stuff, and the cars that were used in spy movies.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be a great topic?
That would be amazing.
Yeah, we could talk about it.
I like that.
And maybe we can go down to Aston Martin down there in Palm Beach and see if they could bring a couple up.
Yeah.
Because there was some famous Aston Martins.
Right.
DB3 or 4, which DB is the initials of the owner, by the way. We'll talk about that.
Okay.
Brown is to be.
All right. So I got a update on the.
Give me more updates. We need it. We need news.
So we wanted to do the test ride on the new electric car
called the.
Hold
on.
Yeah.
Hold on. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Right.
It is that. Gosh, what the heck was it? Swift or Glide or
it was Astra, not Astra, but was it?
Here we go. We'll think about it in a second.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Anyways,
update.
So I contacted the people there and down in West Palm area, and
it's actually a near City Place. We're right on the outskirts of City Place.
So I contacted them, and they were very gracious. They took my information, and they said they'd pass it on to the marketing people.
Ooh.
Currently, they don't have enough cars produced so that they can offer one for test drive.
Oh.
So, but
I know if I'm spending $170,000, I sure want to test drive that thing.
Yeah. But anyways, that's kind of
because I figured didn't me and you decide we're going to go in halvesies?
Yes.
You cough up 85, and I'll cough up 85, and we'll both own it on
chump
half
change.
Chump change.
Absolutely.
Or John, maybe John can go 3 ways with us.
Well, that's right. We'll have a rotating garage.
What is the name?
As long as
Lucid or something?
Yes, Lucid Air.
Lucid Air.
Yes, thank you. So so the Lucid folks were kind enough,
but they were nice.
They were very kind, but it was one of those don't call us, we'll call you. So we'll stand by. So I'm kind of taking we got the politically correct,
well, maybe we could do
them.
Another test drive in a Tesla, see what they've got new coming.
Yeah.
They kind of like this.
Mm-hmm.
Although I was at the mall right before Christmas, there's nothing in their showroom. It's empty.
They sold
Where's all the cars at?
They even sold all the test drive models.
What the heck's going on, Frank, in the world?
Is
there a shortage? There's a shortage of cars.
There's a shortage of chips.
Okay, tell me some information about that.
Okay, so Land Rover, Range Rover are adding a 3-row, which is no simple matter, apparently.
Yes.
So that's kind of nice to know. But the chip shortage bumps back McLaren's Artura launch. So McLaren was coming up with a brand new model called the Artura.
And that is a
Artura.
High dollar, almost race car. I mean, it's big, bad, and fast.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those mid-engine.
Yeah, it's a boutique-y special car.
Right. But there's no chips for it.
No chips.
So they can't launch that. Rivian delays some pickup SUV deliveries again because of the
chips.
Yeah, so it's going to be a problem.
Do you think cow chips would that work?
No, but they'll give you some good aroma.
Yeah, I heard Toyota's shutting down after the first of the year for a couple of their lines. Toyota, interesting.
Yeah, yep. Automakers are crying for more microchips, and chip makers are addressing the problem, but it cannot happen quickly enough to solve the problem in 2020.
Because they've got backlogs, and then every day that they don't have them, it creates more backlog. Right. It's a big issue.
It's getting to be, but as long as
now, I wonder if the prices I know used cars that we've talked about are up about 33%. I wonder if new car prices have gone up.
I tell you, I checked the price of my Ford Escape.
Okay.
So
tell me what your expectation was and what you found. Give me the whole backstory.
Well, my expectation was it would probably be worth I paid about $17 for it new.
Yes.
It was the lowest base model.
Yeah, it's a great car.
Yeah. It didn't have a lot of the bells and whistles.
Pretty much. I've driven it. Yeah. Nice car.
Yes. But it's anyways, I paid about 17. I think that was after.
Was that out the door sticker?
No, the sticker was much higher. It was about 22 or so.
So you got
I got a deal.
Decent deal on it.
I bought it over Christmas. 2017.
They're probably looking to get rid of them.
2018. Yeah. So it was
end of the year.
Right, end of the year.
But anyway, you paid 17.
Right. So I went and checked the price with the Kelley Blue Book, and 34,000 miles on the car. Yeah, it's worth about 16 or 17. Yeah.
But here's the problem. What are you going to buy and replace?
Well, that's it. So I'm not. But yeah.
But if you were thinking about selling, or maybe downsizing a car, a lot of people are downsizing. Now's the time to sell.
That's true.
That's an unbelievable story.
Right.
It's worth what you paid for it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So you basically got 34,000 miles of free usage.
Right. Plus, I bought it with no interest.
No, you really did well with that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a good story.
Yeah.
Great story. Anything else in the news? Anything on Tesla?
Elon Musk,
is Elon still?
He sold another $1 billion in Tesla shares.
Oh,
and
my goodness. What's he going to do with that money?
He's paying his bills. He paid taxes. And
it's a lot of money.
And he's using it to fund SpaceX.
Well, $1 billion is it's 10 digits, right?
That's a lot of.
Because the first three is 1,000,
right?
Then you get the next group in the threes is 900,000. Then you got in the millions, you got 999 million, and then you got $1 billion. So you got 3, 3, 3, and 1.
Yeah.
So you got 1 billion is 10 digits.
Wow.
10 digits.
Yeah.
Everyone understand that? You got the 3 groups of zeros, the 3 groups of zeros, and the 3 groups of zeros. Then you got the 1.
Correct.
1 billion. So 1 with 9 zeros after it.
Wow.
I can't even imagine that.
Right. It's nuts.
That's just a lot of money.
Right. But
how many pennies would that be?
A lot. More pennies than you could probably fit in your.
It would probably go to the moon and back.
You
could probably stack them.
Yes.
So, interesting.
Yeah. Cool. But
he sold some stock.
He did in order to fund all his SpaceX stuff. So because he's actually looking at his satellite company.
That is what's going to give
to fund
quite
SpaceX.
A bit of internet to parts of the world that don't have access to high-speed cable and things like that.
Right.
I think I can't think of the name of the company, but they've got satellites up in geosynchronous orbit that provide a constant signal anywhere you're on the Earth.
Right.
That's kind of neat.
It is cool.
Yeah.
So
you could do a TikTok video anywhere in the Alps. You could do a TikTok video and upload it.
Exactly.
You could be on Instagram and take a picture up there on Mount Everest, and you could still download it to your buddies in southern Florida or Tampa.
And they can watch you as you fall.
Yeah. And that's high up.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So
interesting.
Yeah.
Well, here's some interesting news. A company called Solid Power.
Okay.
This is new to me. I just read it. Let's look here. Popular Mechanics. I got this for Christmas. You know what I get for Christmas? I get stacks of magazines and books. That's what my family loves to give me because they know I love it.
Yeah.
Because
you're always paging through stuff. Yes.
I am. I'm known for that. Even at the business meetings that we go to.
Yeah. Everybody loves watching you do that. It's marvelous.
I do though.
Yeah.
I'm constantly reading.
Yes.
Solid state lithium batteries. Now let's
dissect
let's
it.
flesh that out right there because that's an oxymoron,
right?
For what we know of lithium batteries. Now, lithium batteries first came out at I believe in the mid 90s. Duracell, they had a CR123 was the size, and it was a small pen light, fairly large though, but pen looking like a AA battery.
Okay,
that's where lithium kind of first surfaced. Now, lithium is what they use. Most vehicles today that are either hybrid or full electric use a lithium battery of some sort.
Okay.
But there's an electrolyte, there's a liquid inside of it.
There's other
density, there's weight.
Right.
It's not, I hate to say organic, but it kind of sort of is organic-y. You know what I mean? It's compiled together with goo, metal, which is lithium, is a real soft, heavy metal.
Right.
And other electrolytes, and then you have to have a negative post, lithium ion. There's some other metal that's in there, and it depends on the manufacturer. A lot of that's proprietary on how they actually construct the lithium battery itself. You know, Panasonic makes them, and I know there's a gigafactory out in Arizona that Elon Musk makes his battery packs.
Right.
And that's
he's going to be making them supposedly also in Texas.
And I know Lucid Air, one of their claims to fame is they've got a denser battery, but this crushes all of them.
Right.
What we're talking about.
Wow.
This is a solid state.
Now, what does solid state mean
It means basically it would be, think of a circuit board on a computer chip, like a computer chip. Solid state is something that's doesn't come apart. It's manufactured on a circuit board. It's
okay.
There's no liquid in it. It's just think of a computer chip.
Okay.
Or think of I don't know. Think of a metal eraser. You know the little erasers that you used when you were a kid, those red, orange erasers that were rectangular?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, think of that made out of a metal and plastic. Now there's your solid state lithium battery.
Okay.
They're rectangular, they're flat.
Right. Made into any shape, right?
Yeah, but usually they're.
So isn't that the game-changing dynamic?
The game-changing is, let's read on with this sentence. Solid state lithium batteries. So there's the game changer right there, solid state. It can last 25 years.
Wow.
Okay. That there's the game changer.
Right.
That's cars in the United States, state by state, are recognized as an antique at 20 years and 25 years.
Right.
Right now, and we'll talk about a case study because it gets right into this. I'll talk about a Chevy Volt and the demise of the Chevy Volt and what happened to it. Because I have a customer, you know him well. I'm not going to give names out.
Okay.
He's in our group.
Mm-hmm.
He had a Chevy Volt. He ended up trading it.
Oh,
I'll get into it.
Okay.
But think $14,000 for a battery pack. And then we'll discuss this.
Yes.
When they fail.
Okay.
Okay. So this can charge an electric vehicle in minutes. Yeah. I'm going to read this. We could reset our expectations for battery life. It could be as long as 25 years or even half a century.
Wow. That's huge.
The new technology could mean recharging a car in the same time required to fill a gas tank.
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Because right now, the issue, I don't care who makes it, Lucid Air, the hiccup is not distance. The hiccup is the recharge.
Right.
You know it. I know it.
Sure.
There's only so many charging stations around. When everybody starts adopting these electric cars, we got a big problem.
Right.
And it won't work. Currently, the way the world operates, it won't work if everybody buys an electric car.
Right.
It's not going to work. It won't work. There's no place to charge up.
And this is why Toyota is reluctant to
I'm telling you, it's not. They used to call the issue that everyone said, Frank, was range anxiety. No, that's not the issue. The issue is, where the heck do you charge these things? And it takes too darn long.
It does.
And I don't care if you got a level 3 charger, you're still doing it for 45 minutes.
Right.
It's a lot of time.
Oh, yeah. They put these charging stations right next to restaurants.
Yeah, but there's only a couple of them.
Right. But so you
park your car there and have a drink for 8 hours and then come out and take it.
Yeah.
And it's not free, you got to have a credit card to use these things. No one pays for these. Everyone thinks that these charging stations, you just pull up your electric car and no.
Oh, no.
Figure it's about 80 miles to the gallon. How much gasoline you would use at 80 miles a gallon on a car? The dollar amount is how much it costs to charge your car.
Wow. We've got a caller in our newsmaker line. Go ahead, caller.
Well, this is one of Todd's customers.
Well, you won the safety kit.
I know. Well, this is why I'm sticking with my diesel, Todd.
Okay.
All right.
Well, is this Palm City Charlie?
Yeah, this is Palm City.
Well, Palm City Charlie.
Do you remember there was a rumor years ago that the government had a way to get miles per gallon up like to 70 miles per gallon? Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
Probably, conspiracy theory, probably.
Yes.
But I guess my diesels are doing that.
Your diesels are doing that. Tell our listening audience,
pretty close.
How many miles per gallon do you get on the highway with your diesel, your Volkswagen?
62, 63.
It's unbelievable. And now, in one of your diesels, you're going to have a brand new Bridgestone Auto Emergency Kit. It's got your name on it, and it'll be at the shop tomorrow, and you want it. It's about an $80 to $100 kit. Has a bunch of stuff in there.
Because I called?
Because you called the first caller. That's right.
This is great. Thank you, Todd.
You want it. I'll have it over at the shop tomorrow morning.
Okay, listen, I'm doing Denny's show tomorrow.
Okay.
And then I have to do a minor operation, which I said I would do with a K-bar if they didn't do it immediately.
Well, let me ask you something. Can you make it in the shop tomorrow morning just for a brief moment and pick up your winnings?
Well,
or do you want me to leave it here at the radio station?
What time do you open? Like 8 o'clock?
7:30, 8 o'clock.
All right, I'm up at 6 a.m. I'll
see you over there, and they'll be waiting for you. It's a nice little kit. You'll like it.
Are you going to be there?
I'm going to be there.
Or just Paul?
No, it'll be me or Paul. I'll be there, though.
Okay.
Now that I know you're going to be there.
I will see you.
We'll see you
Very
tomorrow
good.
morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're my first caller, and you won.
Well, I feel like a winner just knowing you, you know?
I guess the feelings are mutual.
All right, brother.
Take care.
Take care. I'll see you tomorrow morning.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
Yeah, he won.
How
Great.
cool is that?
Good guy. I'm glad he won.
Yeah.
You'll like this kid.
I think he'll love it.
I'd like that kid.
Yeah.
Okay. What were we talking? Oh, we were talking about these battery things. Yeah, but the hang up is you just and the problem is when you're charging it, it's taking it. Your car's taking up the real estate. Imagine if you pulled into a gas station and it took 6 hours to get gas.
Mm-hmm.
What? 20 cars could fill up with gas, and then you'd have to wait a day to get it. Yeah, it's just not going to work.
Right.
It doesn't work. Electric cars work for what we have now, because I believe about 2 to 3% of the cars on the road are electric.
Right.
It works just fine.
Right.
Right. You can recharge. You can go to your restaurant, whatever.
Right.
Minute 10, 15, 20% of the people got electric cars. We got a big problem.
Right.
Because where are you going to put these charging stations? Real estate's, you know how much land costs.
Right.
And the build out for level 3 chargers is millions of dollars, because you have to, the power company has to come in and you got to put big batteries underneath.
Big electric pipes under the ground.
Oh,
yeah.
600 volts.
Yeah.
So, okay. So that's this new technology. Let's finish up then, because I had so much more. We ran out of time again, Frank.
I know.
Well, the horse is going to ride off into the sunset.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where we need our
clippity clop. Yeah.
We have to have that.
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about a case study on a Chevy Volt. I had a customer come in, was towed in, wrench light came on, reduced power, ran out of juice. Because, a Chevy Volt is an electric car all the way, and the gasoline motor that's in there is just a generator.
Okay.
It's different than a hybrid.
Right.
Hybrid's connected.
Mm-hmm.
The engine can actually propel the car.
Right.
On a Chevy Volt, it generates electricity, which charges the battery as you drive.
Or
at home,
like,
you can plug it in.
Right.
Well, these batteries are a T-shaped piece that's on the subframe of the vehicle. They're liquid cooled. They're not lithium. They're lithium ion. There's 3 separate subunits of batteries in there. The number 3 unit is a known failure point with the Chevy Volt. Replaced the whole thing, about $14,000 parts and labor.
Yikes.
The car's worth about $2,000.
Yeah.
It's just,
yeah.
Now here is failure. It's just, and this is the problem with some of these hybrids and electric cars.
Tesla's run into
To
this.
fixing the damn batteries, outrageous.
There was a report on the YouTube of a guy who blew his car up, a European guy, I think from Sweden, parts there. Needed to spend $22,000. He was an early adopter. He bought a 2013 Tesla.
Yes.
And it was $22,000 later. He needed a new battery.
Yeah, it's just that's not doable.
So he strapped dynamite onto the car and blew it up on the internet.
Yeah, it's just to be mainstream, and there's a lot of things that have to change. Replacement battery packs need to be available.
Right.
Federally mandated for a certain number of years, and it has to be a reasonable exchange price.
Right.
You agree with me?
Yes.
It has to be, and it has to be built into the price of the car. The fact that at some point you're going to be substituting that battery for another one,
right?
And the product price is reasonable, a couple $1,000s. I was $4,000 max. There should be a swap out deal,
right?
You agree with me,
right?
It shouldn't be $14.
You should be able to take the old battery and repurpose that.
Correct.
Yes, just like you do with the car batteries now.
The other conundrum. What do you do with that battery? What does my repair shop do with the old battery? There is no protocols in place at a federal or state level to recycle these batteries. Nothing.
Wow.
You're talking about a hazard nightmare. What do I do with them if I replace one?
And the old, the
old one is what I'm talking about.
Right. And there is cobalt used in that too.
The nickel metal hydride.
Right.
Yeah. There's some rare earth metals that could be salvaged. There's some issues. I like Palm City Charlie. Diesel, 62 miles per gallon, people on the highway.
Yeah.
62.
Wow.
And he won the kit. Palm City Charlie.
He did it.
We love him. He's the best man there is out there. We love him. He loves cars too.
Well, yeah.
What a good guy.
Right.
So,
And what year is his Volkswagen?
Gosh,
You
I
know,
believe it's like 2017, 18. It's a newer one.
oh, it's okay.
He's got a couple of them.
So it's not like old generation stuff.
No, this thing's fairly new. So we'll have him call and talk about his cars. Maybe I'll get with him and have him come in, even come in here and talk about them.
Yeah.
Ownership.
Maybe let me do a test drive.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be riding a horse soon.
Clippity clop. So what do you got? Any New Year's plans?
None.
None.
How about you?
None.
Sit at home and read books.
Yes.
Magazines.
Yes.
Okay.
Very good. Well, we had I think a very successful show.
We did.
And we're getting down to the end of the year.
Yep.
And
I'll be on next week with you, Frank, and hopefully we'll have some kind of clippity-cloppity we can replicate.
I like that. We'll work on that.
Have a good day now.
All right. Thank you. And you can give Todd a call at 772-781-8000. Right. 220-9788 is our studio line. Alrighty. And we'll see you next week. Can you hear me? Hello? Charlie. Oh, okay. That's
super duper. And this is so I get the half like we did
yes,
before.
Yes.
You got it?
Yes. Thank you so much.
Yep, you got it.
All righty.